People being unhoused is a problem because it has consequences on our economy, public health, and society. The stigma and bias around the unhoused people creates an us versus them point of view. This stops the homeless from reaching out to ask for help. Children who grew up in homeless shelters are more at risk of becoming unhoused adults themselves. It can threaten public safety. The more people we have living on the streets, the more likely the crime rate increases. There is an increased risk of disease outbreaks with homelessness and increased incidence of substance and alcohol abuse. Unhoused children's education, health, and psychology are all affected negatively. The elevated risk of homelessness and housing instability has detrimental effects on the LGBTQ plus youth's mental health. LGBTQ youths who reported past housing instability or current homelessness has more than 3 times greater odds of ever being physically threatened. Studies have shown that 22% to 57% of homeless women state domestic abuse as the cause of being homeless. Another survey states that 80% of homeless mothers with children were victims of domestic violence. The 2015 survey states at least 25% of our country's homelessness population has a serious mental illness. That translates to about 140,100 people, while another 45% or 250,000 people are suffering from mental health issues. Social stigma around homeless people often prevents employers from hiring them. Most of them also suffer from some kind of mental illness, making it hard to keep a job. A source states 60% of LGBTQ plus youth reported that they had slept away from parents or caregivers because they ran away from home, with more than half, 55%, reporting that they ran away from home because of mistreatment or fear of mistreatment due to their LGBTQ plus identity. More info states 14% of LGBTQ plus youth reported that they have slept away from parents or caregivers because they were kicked out or abandoned, with 40% reporting that they were kicked out or abandoned due to their LGBTQ plus identity. About 51% of individuals that are homeless veterans have disabilities. A large-scale VA study on the mental health of vets from 2012 revealed that mental disorders are common among homeless veterans. Mental illness is also a strong predictor of a veteran's going homeless after discharge from active duty.
What can we do to address this issue? First, the local government can bring in laws that help unhoused people, like building more houses, creating more job opportunities, and adding more outreach programs to help with mental health. We can add strong anti-discrimination policies in the workplace and strong anti-bully and harassment policies in schools that can be effective in helping LGBTQ youth stay connected to school and employment, increasing their skills and future earnings, and making it easier for them to maintain stable housing. Additionally, since family conflict around youth's LGBTQ identities is a driving factor in LGBTQ youth homelessness, developing family counseling or mediation programs may be effective at decreasing conflict and keeping LGBTQ youth in their homes and connected to their families. Increased funding for low-barrier housing programs. More funding should be allocated for safe, low-barrier housing programs, which can have an immediate positive impact on LGBTQ youth experiencing housing instability. Recently, there have been talks about housing the unhoused in the abandoned Sears in Boyle Heights. Unhoused people from the neighborhood would be the first in line for the 2,500 beds, said project spokesperson Leandro Chaya, with senior citizens, LGBTQ+, youths, veteran, and families next on the list. We have an opportunity to help the Boyle Heights community and the homeless population, Shira, son of El Mercadito co-founder Arturo Shira, said before the meeting. In addition to 2,500 beds, the plan includes the construction of 3,000 units of permanent supportive housing behind the Sears building, which would create more than 1,000 union jobs, Shira said. We can also donate to organizations like the Covenant House, which is a large privately funded agency in the Americas providing shelter, food, immediate crisis care, and other services to homeless and runaway youths. It provides sanctuary and support for youth experiencing homelessness ages 18 to 24. And to organizations like Midnight Mission, a human services organization in downtown Los Angeles. It offers a path to self-sufficiency to men, women, and children experiencing homelessness since 1914. As a comprehensive homelessness shelter and homelessness service provider, serving the LA's homeless community.